looks like I'm back in the movies again, doesn't it? Well, as a matter of fact, I'd like to do some talking. Just don't go away until I get this thing off. Now, it isn't as if it was a chore for me to talk to you because I want to speak on my favorite subject, the Army Air Forces. I can't speak from long experience. I've only been in the service a year, but I've learned a lot about what the Air Forces have to offer. That's what I want to talk to you about. Right now, the greatest mass mobilization in the history of the world is taking place. Men from cities, towns, farms, married men and single men, brothers, sweethearts, husbands, fathers and sons, businessmen and workers from the factories, and students from colleges and high schools all over America. They're mobilizing, joining up, or having their numbers pulled out of a fishbowl. And this war we're fighting today and tomorrow and the next day until we win is a war of the air. The whole world knows that. Our factories know that. So, interceptors, pursuit ships, light bombers, medium bombers, and flying fortresses are rolling out of those factories. 65,000 fighting planes this year, 100,000 fighting planes next year. And to keep them flying, 2 million men. Now that's where you come in. The Army Air Forces need 15,000 captains, 40,000 lieutenants, 35,000 flying sergeants. Well, how about it? Well, let's talk it over. Now, make no mistake about this thing, fellas. We're all going to be in this war soon, sooner than a lot of you realize. And nearly all the officers of this great Army Air Force that they're building today are going to be drawn from the ranks of you men, from high schools and colleges, those who join as aviation cadets now. Well, now, before I go any further, are there any questions?
Yes, sir, I've got a question.
Okay, shoot.
Well, I'd like to join up, but I've got about a year of college left, and I'd kind of like to get that diploma.
Well, why not? The Air Forces want you to get your diploma. Fellows like yourself, either in high school or college, can enroll in the Air Force Reserve, continue with your studies, and at the end of the term, or when you get your diploma, you'll be taken in as a regular cadet, if you pledge now.
Well, thanks.
Okay, don't mention it.
Hey, I'd like to make the Air Force, but I'm no brainstorm. My grades aren't exactly what they should be. I hear it's tough to get in.
Not anymore, it is. And that blocked letter you're sporting, that tells me a lot. Basketball, football, baseball, or some activity where coordination, control, and the ability to work together with the rest of the team, that's important. The same in the Air Force. They're one big team, and they need men who can pull together and play the game. So, you and your teammates should be a cinch in this, the biggest all-American team we ever had. Now, here's a fellow who works in a filling station. He looks as though he's got something special on his mind. Say, how about it, fella?
You know, I've been interested in the Air Forces for quite a while. But I'm 26 years old and got a wife, and haven't had a chance for too much education. What about me?
Well, from where I'm standing, you look like you're ready to sprout wings any minute.
Wait a minute.
You see, formal education is no longer a basis for determining a man's intelligence in the Air Forces. And married or not, you'll receive $75 each month while training, and board and lodging, and all the necessary uniforms and equipment. And you have as much chance as the next fellow of becoming one of those 15,000 captains and 40,000 lieutenants or 35,000 flying sergeants I was telling you about.
Yeah?
Say, that sounds great. I think I'll go and phone my wife.
I'd like to get something straight in my mind. I'm one of those high school students you've been talking about, but I'm not old enough. I wasn't planning on going to college, so... Well, where does that leave me as far as the Air Force is concerned?
Fella, you sound like the forgotten man. But if you're close to 18 and you're over 5 feet in altitude, you can be one of us just as quickly as anybody else.
Okay.
Just make out that application for the Air Force Reserve. Now, your physical examination. Well, that's not going to be so tough. If you're an average guy and normally healthy, you'll make the grade, all right? So one day you say goodbye to Mother and Dad. They're pretty proud and happy, too. Especially Dad. His suspenders are about to bust. Yeah, you say goodbye to Sister Jane and maybe Aunt Minnie. Oh, yeah, Uncle Ben, and Brother Joey. Those first few steps down the walk are the beginning of a great adventure. Oh, wait, just wait a minute now. Aren't going to forget that sweet little bit of something next door. And you're on the train with a lot of other fellas, probably many from your own school or neighborhood. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, Uncle Sam bought your ticket. And your destination reads any one of a number of reception centers, maybe in California, maybe down in Texas. It's here that lasting friendships are made because you and your teammates are aiming for the same goal. That big, beautiful, wonderful V that spells victory. And now it begins. Now, here's a sort of a composite picture of what happens to you in the first few weeks of your aviation cadet training. You find your room, meet your roommate, get a haircut, Army style, and try on a new pair of shoes and a new uniform that really fits. Then, time to eat. Those chops are on the fire. Eat with a few hundred other guys just as hungry as you are. In ground school, officers with years of experience patiently explain what makes them fly. And then one day, when class is over, you get all rigged out in what the well-dressed birdman will wear. You feel like quite a guy as you meet your flying instructor. But always in your memory will be the thrill of that first beautiful morning when you took off for the first time.